We are going to build end-to-end customer support AI agent project. So this is basically a customer support agent that we are going to build with FastAPI, LangChain, OpenAI, and ChromaDB and RAG architecture. And in the end, we will also add observability with LangSmith to trace our calls, like how much uh, each call is costing us, and also how much tokens are consumed. So let's look at one example. So here I have created sample test HTML and integrated our project. Give me details about AI engineering. Now this will process our request with a backend. Since we have created knowledge base for this product, so here is our FAQs, which has all the courses listing and AI engineering details. Yeah, so it should return those details here. So yeah, AI engineering program is 4 months long and costs $3,200. So it is exact same knowledge from here, right? And also I can ask further questions like what is the refund policy. Okay, so it will fetch the refund policy details. Again, it will refer to the knowledge base of that product. Let's create this end-to-end project. We are going to build this customer support AI agent with FastAPI, LangChain, and ChromaDB. So the way it will work is basically we will have some sort of data set related to our business. So in this use case, I have taken skillsync AI. So it is basically a tech kind of thing, and this business, all of this text document is related to this business. So if user ask for something related to late fee, so our AI agent should be able to fetch it from the dataset itself, and it will be pretty accurate. Okay, now this is just one example, so that's why our dataset is only of 78 lines. In production examples, it will be much bigger. Okay, so let's look at like architecture, what we are going to build it with. So it will be a FastAPI framework, then LangChain and ChromaDB to store the embeddings. Now we will use OpenAI as a LLM to fetch the answers. Okay, and we will also implement the RAG architecture. So let's say we will store the embeddings and get the relevant text only. Okay, so this is going to be our project structure. So there will be like main.py file and requirements.txt. In here I have mentioned all the libraries that we need to make this project happen, and we will create agent.py, knowledgebase.py, and ChromaDB. We will store here our embeddings. Okay, now the initial step that you want to do is clone the repository. Then you will have this sort of setup where you will get dataset and all. Now then you need to create the Python virtual environment, so make sure you have Python installed, and then you can run python 3 -m venv, and after hitting this command it will generate the venv folder. Okay, and then next command you need to run is source venv bin activate. Now this will activate the virtual environment and you can install the packages without any problem. Then the third command that you will run is pip install -r requirements.txt, and this will install all the dependencies that we require for this project. So this is the list. Now once this is done, the next thing that you need to do is create all the files that is required. Now first is obviously main.py, and then agent.py, and then knowledgebase.py, okay. Now, and we have data folder already in which we contain the business related information. Now the way it will work, right, I will show you one example in Postman. So anyone will make request to post request to slash chat route, and in the body itself they will send that message of give me details of AI engineering, and our AI will fetch the relevant answer. Like details for AI engineering is basically AI engineering course is a 4 months long and cost XYZ. It is saying that because that in the FAQs data, right, it is mentioned that it costs that much, so it is fetching only that relevant information. Okay, so that's what we are building. Now let's close all of this and start creating it from the scratch. So in main.py it will be very simple structure. So we need to create the skeleton for our FastAPI. So from FastAPI import FastAPI, from agentic import base model, from agent import ask support agent. Okay, now this will not work because agent.py we have not written anything there, right? Okay, so let's create app instance, app equal to FastAPI. Title we will give customer support. Yeah, agent. And now next thing is we need to define class chat request and base model, and here we will accept one parameter in the post request message, and it will be of type string. Okay, now we will accept one get route app.get. Now this is just a testing route, yeah, and it will return so tap root return message customer support AI API agent running. Okay, so if I save this, and let me just comment this because we are not using it yet, let's save this and let's try to run it. So we'll run it using the command ubicon main app reload, yeah, 8000, and if I refresh, so you can see I got the default route of root. Yep, and on get request we'll get response. Yeah. So when I try the get route here, not chat one, only 8000 get body none send, so you can see we get the message customer support AI agent running. So basically this is the basic version of like FastAPI server that we built for the get request. Now we need to support like HTTP post request, so user can send their message, send their questions and get their answers. Yeah, so we'll make this post request so user can send this. Yeah, and the route is chat. Yeah. Okay, so let's define this route. So in here app dot post slash chat, and definition chat request chat request. So here we have defined the class and we will use it here, and here we will call our ask agent, ask support agent. Yeah, which we will import it from the agent, right? So ask support agent, yeah, and we will pass the request dot message. So basically what I'm doing here right now is whenever the user will send HTTP post request and whatever they type in the message, I will pass it directly to the ask support agent, which will be in the agent.py, and whatever this ask support agent will get answer, we will store it in the response equal to and we'll just return the response. Okay, now in the agent.py we need to write that. So let's go to agent.py. Okay, so here, so very important thing, right? We are building this LLM customer support AI agent, and you will need the OpenAI API key. Okay, so get the OpenAI API key. So it is easy to do that. So just type OpenAI, this one. When you visit this URL, you will be able to get that key. Okay, so once you get the key, paste your key here in the .env file. This is just one example I'm showing. In the env file I have my real key, but use your own. Okay, now the agent.py code. So from .env import load.env, and we'll just call this load.env here. env variables will be available here. Now from LangChain underscore OpenAI import chat OpenAI and OpenAI embeddings, and then from LangChain underscore chroma import chroma, from LangChain dot chains import retrieval QA, okay, so make sure R Q. Okay, so basically chroma is a database that we are going to use it to store the embeddings, the text embeddings that we get from the core text database. And we will retrieve it using retrieve QA. Now to store the chroma database, let's define a path chroma underscore db underscore directory equal to chroma db, and I will define LLM equal to chat OpenAI, and here we are going to use the model GPT-4o mini because it is intelligent and cost effective as well. So GPT-4o mini, and temperature will set it to 0, so it will take time before answering, and the answers will be good as well. So here we forgot the comma, right? Okay, then to store the embeddings, we will need embeddings variable. So let's do that. Embeddings, OpenAI embeddings, and vector store chroma, and we'll pass the persist directory, chroma db directory, and embeddings function embeddings. Okay, now the retriever logic, vector store dot adds retriever search underscore k w args okay. So I will explain in a minute. Okay, so here what we are saying is basically search for the whatever the user is asked for, and then return the top 3 matching results. So yeah, so we'll get the top 3 results, and QA chain equal to retrieval QA dot from chain type, and we'll pass the LLM and the retriever. Okay, and then so here we are going to add one more feature, that let's say user has asked for something in the chat, and he is not happy with the response itself, and they want to escalate to the human, right? Now yeah, once we give some like abuse words, it will redirect the chat to the human, so basically escalation to the human. So that part we are going to implement here. So to detect like if the user is angry or it needs escalation or not, so we will define some dictionary. So escalation keywords, and here we will store the dictionary. So let's say user has type like angry, or let's say they are talking about like lawsuit and stuff, or human agent. Okay, so if the chatting contains any of these words, okay, then it will escalate to the human. Now I will create one reusable function here, def should escalate, and it will be user query, and we will just simply check like return any word in query dot lower for word in escalation keywords, basically any of the text from the query if it is present in the escalation keywords. Yep. Then it will return true. Yeah, then we will do the escalation. Now you remember we created one resolve function that we are using here. So basically whenever user posts the question, it comes to this route and we call the ask support agent. Now here is where we are going to call define that function, def ask support agent. Now this function is the main function that will run once the user query comes from that route. Now first we will check if it should escalate or not. Should escalate query. Yeah, and this function will basically check. So here is that function. It will check basically it has used any abusive, or if the user is angry or not, should we involve human agent or not. Yeah, now this is also like one important feature, I guess. If you have the AI agent systems, right, then we will just return that okay, success true, and escalated true, and the answer will be fixed then. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so once this is for the escalations escalations case, now let's look at the real case. So result equal to QA underscore chain dot invoke query, and we'll pass the query here. Okay, and once we get the result, we will store it in the answer equal to result of result. Okay, and we'll return it to the user saying success was true and escalated was false, because A answered it right, so that's why. And we'll pass the answer by AI. Answer. Okay, so yeah, that's our main function. It is very straightforward, but you successfully build the AI agent. Yeah, now, yeah, this will work, but you see, to work and retrieve the proper embeddings, you need to have the embeddings itself in the ChromaDB, right? So that part is going to be generated by knowledge base. Now the knowledge base, this script, what it will do is basically take our FAQs company related data, and basically it will split it and store it in the vector DB, that is in the ChromaDB, right? So it will store the chunks in the ChromaDB, and in the agent.py we are going to give path to the vector store, and the retriever logic will find the top 3 uh, relevant results and return the result. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. So now let's build the knowledge base script. So here, so from .env, so let me, instead of typing, I'll just copy paste this code. It's kind of similar. Copy paste, yeah. So load env, then from LangChain community dot document loaders, import text loader, and from LangChain text splitters, import recursive text splitter, then from LangChain OpenAI import OpenAI embeddings, and from LangChain Chroma import Chroma. Okay, then we'll define the Chroma directory. So Chroma db directory, yep, and we are storing that inside the Chroma db. Okay, now let's create a function to build a vector store. Now def build vector store, okay, and we'll call this function here. So if underscore name underscore double equal to main, then the script will run build vector store. Okay, so now let's build this function. So here it's really simple, like loader, text loader, and we'll load the file. It is stored inside the data and faqs.txt. so this text is basically related to the business. That's what we are loading here. And then docs equal to loader dot load, then it will load it and we'll store it in the docs. So now here we will split it. So splitter equal to recursive character text splitter that we imported from the top, and here we'll pass like chunk size, like how many chunk we want, to divide. So chunk size equal to 300, and chunk overlap equal to 50. Okay, now split docs equal to splitter dot split documents, and we'll pass our docs there. Okay, then embeddings, OpenAI embeddings, and here chroma dot from documents, and here we will pass everything. So documents will be split docs, and embeddings will be embeddings, and persist directory equal to ChromaDB directory. Okay, so I will just store it, vector store. Actually we don't need to store because we are not going to use it later forever, but yeah, let's just log it to the console so we can track that. Okay, chroma db vector create a success. So let's save this and let's test our script. Okay, so our server which we started earlier, since we are building the whole script, right, so that's why it is giving error. So let's clear our terminal. And so first thing, we need to build the knowledge base that will generate the ChromaDB vectors, and then we will run our main script, then only it will work, right? So to generate the knowledge base we need to execute that file. So here is how you will run that. So python 3 or python, whatever you have saved. So in my terminal I have saved it as python 3. Okay, so python 3 knowledge base.py. so it is saying that ChromaDB vector created success. So ignore this like telemetry warnings. Okay, so you can see that chroma underscore db is created, and there are lots of data it is there, right? This embedding full text, as you can see here. Yeah, okay, so we know that our knowledge build is ready. Yeah, it is stored in the chunks in the vector store. Now we can successfully run our server using this command, uv main preload. So if I run this now, our server is started. Okay, so the error is coming up. To fix this error, go to agent.py and here fix the pailing of retriever, and in the search k arguments, here the k should be in small case, and make sure your retrieval qa r and qa is in capital. Okay, now once you run it again and go to this URL, and if you refresh you can see that okay, our server is working. And let's test our server. So here we have defined our root main post /chat. Okay, /chat, and in the body we will send message, give me details of AI engineering. And if I send the request, it should get the relevant chunk and pass that chunk and query to the OpenAI, and OpenAI will fetch correct answer and show me the data. Yep. And let's say if I say like tell me about refund process. Now this is also relevant information. Student can refund request a refund within 7 days. Okay, now let's say I say like I want to talk to human agent. Okay, so as you can see, escalation is true here and success true, and answer is our fixed answer escalating to human agent. Now this query, this request we will route it to the human server and they will chat it from there. Okay, so that's the basic example. So we built our customer support AI agent using OpenAI LLM, and then LangChain rack pipeline. Okay, and we also had the escalation logic as well. Now here is the thing, we can create a front end for it. So okay, now to see this product in action, so let's say we are testing this product and we took the data set of this e-learning skill sync AI, right? So this is iTech product. Now let's say they integrated this customer support AI agent in their system. So there will be some, I don't know, test.html, yeah, and this is their homepage, skills sync AI. Copy, I will just define on h1. Okay, so this is their sample homepage. Now let's open this. Okay, this is their homepage and they want to integrate this customer support AI agent that will create a customer support chat interface and which will interact with the this post request. Okay, now let's create this client script. So script.js. Now the script is basically what we will give to all the clients. Okay, and they will basically integrate the script in their system. So we'll need to add the script. So script src script.js. So as you can see, the chat pop-up has started showing up here. Now since we are interacting with our agent from the postman, but now we can interact it from the interface. Okay, now here but this to work right now, this frontend is hosted over this server 5500 port, and our backend is on 8000 port. So yeah, it will likely show the CORS error. So let's fix that before it shows up. So okay, so we will add CORS here. Now to do that, from FastAPI dot middleware dot CORS import CORS middleware, and here below app dot add middleware, and here we'll pass the CORS middleware and then allow origin. For now I will just allow all of the origins. Later you can add like particular domain you want to allow access, then allow credentials, then allow headers, and allow methods. So here we get like plenty of options, basically only to allow HTTP GET or HTTP POST or put or patch. Yep, so that kind of control also we can do. So now yeah, server will be automatically restarted, and now this is our product page. Now let's refresh and type hi. Okay, we don't get any kind of a response. So let's see what's our no response. But in the network request, so let's see what's happening exactly. So we can see that there is a response, but it's not showing up here. This ChatGPT generated script. So here I think in the response, okay, it is inside the answer, but right now it is using data.response here. So here we need to rename it to answer. Okay, now it will start showing up. So let's refresh it again and let's see. Hi. Okay, so it is showing up correctly. Now let's ask this question in here. So it is immediately returning, escalating to human agent very fast. Now tell me more details about AI engineering. Okay, so it has returned correctly that AI engineering program lasts 4 months and cost XYZ. Okay, so we have successfully created this customer support agent. I will show you how easy it is to add the LangSmith observability to our LangChain application. So since we have LangChain installed, we need to install one more package. So in requirements.txt, add this LangSmith, and then you need to run pip install -r requirements.txt, and this will install on that last package, and you can just simply restart the server. Okay, so basically every request that OpenAI request that will go through this observability platform LangSmith. So let's say if I refresh this, and if I type here that give me details about AI engineering, if I send this, so it has returned the results. Okay, so let's go to our tracing. So in here, as you can see, this is the new, and it took like 8.4 seconds. So you know that it took some time to retrieve, and how much cost did it take, like what are the tokens are consumed. You can also send like custom data as well here. So if I inspect this more, I can see like what was the input and what was the output as well. Yeah, so that's the benefit of observability platform. And the way you will add this project in here is, so in env itself, I'm showing env.example, but you need to add in .env, those 4 things. And how you will get this, basically you need to go to langsmith.com and create a new project. So go to home, all applications, create new. Yeah, once you create new application, let's say test. Yeah, and select the OpenAI and click on generate API key. So once the API key is generated, copy this, click on .env and copy this and paste it here. Okay, and the rest of the stuff that you don't need to do anything, just install the LangSmith package and restart the server. So basically create a project, then generate the keys, paste your keys in .env, yeah, and install this new package and restart the server. Then all of your tracing will start showing up under that project. Okay.